Unc, Shannon Sharpe, and Shakur Stevenson get into it, have a whole dialogue and debate on Shannon Sharpe, Ocho Cinco, the NightCap. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, a lot of y'all wanted me to talk about this. I watched it. Shannon Sharpe responded to Shakur Stevenson, and let's jump right into it.
It's my opinion. You got upset because I don't fall and praise you. Your style is boring to me.
You got upset because I don't just bow down and praise you. Your style is boring to me, right? Notice right in the middle of Shannon Sharpe talking, Shakur interrupts him.
Because I don't fall and praise you. Your style is boring to me.
You're not really hearing me.
Your style's still boring. If you can't knock out
he said your style's still boring.
Teofimo, you damn sure can't knock me out. And Teofimo won.
Tio beat your ass.
Mickey Mouse bigger than you.
I came up to his weight class.
He said Mickey Mouse is bigger than you. Like, the Shakurians, y'all are down bad, I would say. Y'all are really down bad. This man just said Mickey Mouse is bigger than you, right? And then I don't know how the conversation devolved into a talk of Shannon Sharpe and Shakur fighting in a street fight, but that's where it went to, right? That man said Mickey Mouse is bigger than you. What are you talking about? And he said, if you couldn't knock out Teofimo, you ain't knocking me out. I'm 200 plus pounds on some street fight stuff. You're not finna body me.
If you can't knock out Teofimo, you damn sure can't knock me out. And Teofimo won.
Tio beat your ass.
Mickey Mouse bigger than you.
I came up to his weight class. He wasn't 130. I was 135. He was 140.
I eat 140 pounds worth of food.
Tio will beat you.
That man said I eat 140 pounds worth of food. It's crazy.
Tio beat your ass.
Mickey Mouse bigger than you.
I came up to his weight class. He wasn't 130. I was 135. He was 140.
I eat 140 pounds worth of food.
Tio will beat your ass.
I'm betting Tank.
You know
I'm
what?
betting Tank against.
No, you're not. How old are you?
Or you scared? Ain't no scared here.
You know what? The thing that was kind of shocking to me is you guys wanted me to watch it, right? And they're like, oh, this was funny and stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I watched it. And the fact that some people, it was a mixed bag, and some people were saying that Shakur got the best of it. I'm like, were we watching the same thing? Because the clip I seen, I don't really see Shakur getting the best of anything. When we're talking about one-liners and the back and forth debate, like, what did Shakur say? He said, Tio will beat your ass. Like, these new generation boxers, they're nothing like the former years, the glory years of boxing. Super thin-skinned, right? And then, like, off of an opinion, it's like they get so mad that they'll try to wage war and be like, you can't beat me, I'll beat you up, right? And especially this particular clique, Terrence Crawford, Shakur, Clarissa Shields, like, I feel like they almost popularized this type of behavior, right? Clarissa Shields, how many times is she like, oh, y'all can't whoop me though, I'll beat a blogger up. Like, if you're like, to be honest, for me, I'm just giving you my opinion. Do you know how incredibly corny that sounds when you've trained your whole life, right, for combat sports, for boxing, and because somebody doesn't like your style, or Clarissa don't like what you wore on, and then your only comeback is like, these YouTubers, I will beat you up. These bloggers, I will beat you up. To me, that's corny, bro. That's corny. Like, you can't have a discourse without, like, you can't beat Teofimo Lopez up. You cannot beat me in the ring. Like, you don't really see this from other professional athletes, right? There's other people that are highly, highly skilled. Like, imagine somebody's trolling or has an opinion on Michael Phelps. And he's like, hop in the swimming pool. Hop in the swimming pool. You can't beat me. You can't race faster. You can't do the relay fast. You can't swim faster than me. Huh? Like, to me, it's corny. Like, there's a ton of things that I'm good at, great at, elite at, right? I could rap. I could write. I could edit. And if people don't agree with me, I don't be like, oh, you can't out-rap me. You can't edit better than me. You don't know how to do a J-cut. What's the rule of thirds? Right? You know what I mean? So everybody is, not everybody, but most people who are tapped in, they're efficient and proficient and have certain skill sets. But these new boxers, what they're good at is boxing. So how does it even escalate to you and Shannon Sharpe talking about street fighting and stuff?
The pound worth of food.
T.O. will beat your ass.
I'm betting Tank.
You know
I'm
what?
betting Tank against.
No, you're not.
That man said, I will bet Tank will beat you.
How old are you?
Or you scared? Ain't no scared here.
How old are you?
And then Shakur talk about how old are you? What does that have? Like, that's the other thing with these Gen Z people. They talk about age like it's a curse, right? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? You're an old head. You old. Shut your old ass up. Like that. Like, this is their only comeback. Like, do you plan to DIE before you get to this age? Like, when is being old or getting older, when is that a death sentence? You know what I mean? I never really understood that. When people, oh, boomer, you old head. Like, so do you plan on not making it to Shannon Sharpe's age, or like what is the deal there? I never understood the people. To be honest, to be young is more of an insult, because a lot of times when you're young, you haven't learned or lived enough to understand stuff. Like, put the 21-year-old version of me against me today. I'll blow the 21-year-old version of me out the water, because I had to go through what I went through in my 20s, you know, to get here and to understand life and to mature. So I never really understood the people like, how old are you? How old are you? Like, what does that have to do with it? Right? And then a lot of people from my generation or older generation, like Shannon Sharpe, we're better at a lot of things like public speaking and articulation. A lot of these people, they be like, man, I'm about to do this and da 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 da. They speak really lazy. Shakur is one of them.
Okay. I don't know how old I am.
I don't know your age.
But I
bet you when I get your age, I have more money than you.
This is Shakur's trash talking. I bet when I become your age, 50 or whatever Shannon Sharpe is, I'll have more money than you then. But tomorrow's not even promised. Like, what if you went to jail for something, like some unforeseen? Like, how do you know you'll have more money in the future? Weird. So, again, some people who are gassing it up and gaslighting me, like, Shakur's cooking. I don't see it.
I've been your age. You've never been mine. What happened is that you didn't like what I said about your.
He said, I've been your age. You have never been my age. And then Shakur's like, I'll be here. I'll be here. How do you determine if you'll be here? Like, and I'm not trying to get macabre. Like, I'm not trying to get like morbid, but I'm just saying, how can you announce, oh, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be 50. I'm going to be like, you don't think Tupac Shakur or whoever, they might have been like, yeah, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. But then they weren't, you know what I mean? So just immature.
What happened is that you didn't like what I said about your style. People want to see you put yourself in harm's way and get down. You're going to have to fight.
When you step in that ring, you in harm's way.
Nah, I disagree with that.
That's because you never put on the boxing gloves in your life.
Okay, go ahead.
If you put on the boxing gloves before, you'll understand that when you step in that motherfucking square circle, you in harm's way. When you go watch my last fight, since you saying I don't put myself in harm's way, who was backing up, me or T.O.? You don't do your
But you
homework.
talk about one fight. You talk about Teofimo.
Any fight.
What about all the other
Any
fights?
fight.
I'm not.
Any
Hold on.
fight.
Am
Any
I the
fight.
only
All
one
these
said that
guys
about
get
you?
right.
I was wondering one thing. Am I the only one that's ever said that about your fighting style? Yes or
A
no?
lot of people that don't know boxing say that.
No. Am I the
You
only
can't
one?
use a public opinion for casuals.
Am I? No.
Are you
You can't use a public opinion for casuals.
the
So
only
no other
casual
boxer.
that said this? No, you are not. They wish they could do what I do. They prayed like, I wish I had them skills. If I had them skills, they will go home to their family safely. You know, people don't go to their family safely, huh? You sound like a
What's so much
casual.
subjective? Why are you getting so
I'm not
upset
getting
with me?
upset with
It's
you.
my opinion.
No. Do your homework and
My
stop getting
homework
F's.
is-
Hey, I think you and Unc should get in the ring.
Man, Unc don't want to do that to himself. He won't last.
Hey, he too small. You know, he too small.
I seen you throw
I'm
your
walking
punches
down.
like bud. You
Shakur.
never threw a punch in your life.
But a street fight and a boxing match is something entirely different, Shakur.
The Tomlin. The Tomlin.
It ain't no rule. There are rules in boxing.
The
Ain't no rules in
Tomlin.
a street
A
fight.
boxing fight lasts 36 minutes. You fighting in a street fight for a minute top.
You think? Hold on, this thing ain't going to.
So Shakur's like, it'll last 36 minutes. All your fights last 36 minutes because you don't knock nobody out.
This
Man,
is
you not
Shakur.
gonna land shit on me.
He'll
Man, I
whoop you
will
in a
whoop
street
his
fight. That's what it
ass.
sounds like to me.
No chance.
How them knees feel?
I do it for charity. I get in the
You
ring
won't
just
do
for
that.
charity.
Don't know shit about boxing.
So I can't have an opinion about
What
your
I'm trying to
boxing
tell
style.
you is you're being ignorant. That's it.
I get all that. That's fine.
You're being
Hold on.
ignorant.
Ignorant is something that should never come out of your mouth because you don't have a degree.
Okay.
I run circles around you in the
Brother,
classroom.
I don't give a fuck about a classroom.
Be respectful. I've never called you ignorant. I've never called you ignorant.
On the
Be
planet
respectful.
that has
Be
not finished
respectful.
high school or finished school that is
I'm not
smarter
talking
than
about
the
them. I'm
book smart
talking to you.
motherfucker.
They didn't call me
I'm saying
ignorant.
you're
You
being
did.
ignorant.
Be
You're
respectful.
being ignorant when it comes to the sport of boxing.
You're ignorant about all
I
sports.
don't care. I'm not trying to be the smartest nigga about all sports. You're trying to be smart
You
about
shouldn't be. You're not the smartest boxer.
I'm not the smartest boxer. I'm a way smarter boxer than
You're
your
not.
favorite fighter.
You don't know who my favorite fighter is.
I don't have to know.
Honestly,
Wow. So to be honest, Shakur, to me, that was bad for Shakur, right? He's like, I'm smarter than your favorite fighter. And he said, you don't even know who my favorite fighter is. I don't have to know. So what if it's Floyd Mayweather? What if it's Pernell Whitaker? What if it's Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how is not knowing and you still make, you know what I mean? To me, that's just like immaturity and like foolish pride. I don't have to know who your favorite fighter is. I don't care if it's Willie Pep or Dmitry Bivol or Usyk or Lomachenko. In a way, it don't matter. What if it's Terrence Crawford? You always be like, Crawford the GOAT, and he whooped me in sparring when we first. So what if his favorite fighter is Terrence Crawford? You gonna say you better than him? You see what I'm saying? These kids, these young, to me, they're kids. They don't think before they speak. What if his favorite fighter is Terrence Crawford? Go on record and say you whoop Bud and you better than him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I didn't particularly see this as like a win for Shakur. The other thing that looked bad is you guys are on here arguing. Shannon Sharpe is a retired athlete, right? His product now is talking about things and interviewing people and podcasting, right? So this is great for him. He's at 500,000. Last time I checked, Nipsey Hussle voice, he had 500,000 views on this debate with you, right? Because he's making it interesting and telling you about yourself or whatever, so people go naturally tune in. This is about the upper echelon of what a Shakur Stevenson interview can even give you because of Unc and him, you know, chastising your style or whatever, and then you having pushback. It made for good TV. So he's winning. You're calling him ignorant, but how ignorant is he if what you're doing on his platform, he's monetizing? Now, I don't know the backdoor dealings, if he cashed you out or paid you for your time, like DJ Vlad be doing. But I know I ain't paid nobody for no interview. right? So different people have different mechanisms, I guess. So I don't know the back end with that, if he paid you for your time or not. But either way, he's owns the content, right? It's monetized on his platform. He gonna get the sponsorships. He gonna reap the benefits. So who's really foolish in the situation, right? Sponsors could see this like, dang, he got 500K on this Shakur interview. Man, Unc interviewed Cat Williams. Hey, how you doing? Doesn't matter, right? That Cat Williams interview was in like January of the year it came out, and that went dummy viral. That went crazy viral. So, yeah, you talking about, oh, wait till I get your age. My pocket's going to be the same as your pocket. We don't really know that because he just paid out all this money, which he did talk about on his case with that chick or whatever, and he still got bread, it looked like. You know what I mean? And you like, when I get your age, I'm going to have that type of bread. I mean, you got to get to that age first. You know what I mean? And that remains to be seen. Broner, showed a lot of promise. He said he had $0 in his bank account, right? Up until recently when he started streaming again or started streaming with Dean the Great. So especially for a boxer, you really don't know what the future holds. What if Paramount went kaput and said, hey, we out of boxing, and then, they have the force majeure get out of boxing clause where they don't have to pay you the rest of your contract. You just don't know. That's the whole point I'm making. So I didn't think this looked great for Shakur. That's just my honest opinion. The other issue is this was right fresh after you had the Zuffa announcement that you signed with Zuffa and Dana White and all that. Your first major interview that I really heard was pretty much this, and definitely if it wasn't the first, it was one of the first. And if you look from a viewership perspective, ain't nobody messing with Unc's viewership. There's not like Sports Illustrated, ESPN interviewed Shakur. Look at their numbers, right? And then look at NightCap numbers, because he was the only one willing to tell you how he really felt and not back down. You didn't want to back down. So it just made for greater TV. So he's right. He was the only one not kissing butt, right? And telling you how he really felt. I don't like your style. You got skills, you're good, you can win fights, but I would pick Tank to beat you. I don't really prefer your style. And he was basically saying that with a style like yours, it's going to be hard to kind of market and get interest. And another thing a lot of these boxers don't really understand, right? They don't understand that to get those Floyd Mayweather, Prime Pacquiao numbers, you have to have casuals, right? It's just like any hip hop. Anybody in hip hop that went diamond, you need the casual listener, right? So Eminem, 50 Cent, Tupac Shakur, right? Jay-Z. There's no way that you can achieve platinum and diamond or 3X platinum, DMX, and you only have black fans only, or only fans from New York, or only fans where you're from in Detroit, like Eminem. It's impossible. You have to transcend your immediate region, and you have to become bigger than one market to achieve those type of numbers. That's why Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor can sell that type of viewership, because they had boxing fans, UFC fans, fans that are in the middle, and just a global interest. You got an Irish dude, you got a dude from America, you got great build-up and trash talk banter between the two. That's why that fight exploded, right? So while boxers like Shakur get offended and, they're trying to argue their point, oh, man, you don't know boxing, you a casual. You have to understand what he's speaking to a lot of casuals also who feel the same way. So you're not really making your case or winning new fans. Like the Shakurians and the diehard boxing heads who appreciate what you do, you already got them. They already like it, and they've already determined that. But to cross over, to make it really worth it for Zuffa and Paramount, you have to transcend what you already have and garner new fans. And I don't know that your style or this interview really does that for you, because from my view, from my worldview, you got to transcend just pure hardcore niched boxing fan hardcores and start capturing the minds. And you're not great at trash talking, right? You're not this polarizing, charismatic personality. And in your fight style, boxing heads can appreciate it, but not everyone is going to like that style. So for real, what Shannon Sharpe is saying is very true. And we live in times of technological advancements and TikTok, and in a minute, everything's in a New York minute. Boom, boom, boom. So now that's why you're seeing influencers and celebrity boxing. Ray J about to fight on Clarissa Shields, because a lot of people don't have the attention span. So they're not going to appreciate the artwork. And here's the thing. Rest in peace to the legend. Now, Shakur, I don't know about Shannon Sharpe and what his real knowledge entails, but with me, you dealing with something different, right? We could have boxing conversation in the dialogue and see what it really is, right? But here's a quote some of you may or may not know. The legendary George Foreman, rest in peace, has a quote about boxing, and I'm going to loosely say it. I have it verbatim or memorized, but he said, boxing is like jazz. The better it is, the fewer people appreciate it. I was actually very close, because these videos are freestyles, so I don't have a teleprompter or anything. Boxing is like jazz. The better it is, the less people appreciate it. So imagine this man said this in the 60s or 70s or 80s or whenever he said it, right? And it's even more, that's the thing with legends like Foreman. A piece of work you did from a past generation is almost even more relevant now than it was when you said it. Because back then when he said it, there was no TikTok. There's no MySpace even, or Instagram and YouTube or YouTube Live. They didn't even have that. So if he said that back then, you know it's only got exponentially worse with the attention spans and the minds of today's society, particularly in America, right? And he said it back then and it probably made sense, but now, you know, even less people appreciate it. That's why guys like Gervonta Davis, Bam Rodriguez, Inoue, David Benavidez, right? Crawford, they have a style that people, you're like, oh man, that was sick. How you do that move? Jerron Boots Ennis, definitely got to add him to the new school list. It's just fun to watch. When have you heard somebody complain like they might say Boots get hit too much, right? There ain't nobody saying like Boots is, oh, he's boring, right? He got skills. His defense he was on it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he's offensively having masterful displays, and then the outcome is leaving people satisfied. That Xander Zayas fight, one of my favorite fights this year, and I knew that going in. That's why I told you I was so hyped for it. So yeah, again, I'm not going to speak on Unc's knowledge of the game. I just know mine. So what he's saying is not really that far off. And you got signed, and the first major interview that got this type of viewership is you arguing with Unc and going back and forth. And to me, you didn't get the best of it, right? What type of rollout is that for a new endeavor? That's like me opening a restaurant and have the grand opening, and then I get in a fist fight outside of it. You know what I mean? Start fist fighting with customers. Like, that's not really how you want to introduce your restaurant to the community, by getting in a scuffle. And although it wasn't physical, it was verbal. So I'm telling you from the business side, like entertainment wise, it was an entertaining interview. So I have no problem with it. Y'all keep at each other's throats. It's more content for me, more content for NightCap. We are the internet. We are the media. We are YouTubers. We are Venom. We are bloggers. So these boxers don't get it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, This is just content for us. You know what I mean? I'm making videos about anything, or Clarissa Shields. I'm giving you my opinion, hit record, hit stop, profit. And then I'm on to the next thing. I'm about to go to Chipotle. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't worried about it. And then I'm going to kick back and watch the Conor McGregor fight. These boxers be in their feelings, especially this new generation. If the man don't like your style, he don't like your style, right? And I think Gen Z has a real big problem with that. People aren't going to like you. People aren't going to appreciate me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just different, but I actually enjoy the people who complain, because they be like, oh, Ego, your YouTube channel is not that good, or YouTube, you're not good at this, and talk about something else or whatever. And they say that, and Ego, you're not good, your channel sucks. And then I go look at this paycheck that I got from YouTube, and I'm like, we did good. You know what I mean? So I don't really care. As long as my family's taken care of, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not selling drugs to people and harming the community. So what's the worst that can happen? Oh, I don't like your YouTube video. You can't stop it. I'm going to keep talking, right? So people have to learn how to have discourse without getting so emotional. Look at you, emotional. And I think Shakur, we're dealing with a lot of ego, no pun intended. And you feel a type of way when people don't feel your style, but it's not going to be for everybody, especially if you fight like Shakur, right? You had Teofimo in there looking stupid. Cool. You're outboxing him, but where's the next gear? So what he's saying ain't that far off, right? Where's your next gear, like Boots Ennis or Crawford, that definitely Gervonta Davis, that can finish the job, like not just make you look silly and miss and, you know, frustrate you, which is good. And that's also part of boxing, hit and don't get hit. Customato told you that. But where's your ability to have any level of elite fight and really beat the brakes off someone? Like, there's fights where David Benavidez, let's say he doesn't finish it. He didn't finish Caleb Plant, but it was many moments later in that fight where it was like, all right, this probably should be done. You know what I mean? Caleb Plant, face all red and peppered and bleeding. You know, so it was a great fight, but then Benavidez, it almost looked like it should have been stopped. Or David Morrell fight. Benavidez never stopped him, but it was still a very fun fight. And my take from a real boxing head is Morrell was never the same. So he didn't get stopped, but look at his next fight. He getting dropped by that Russian, and then he gets stopped by Zach Shelley. So Benavidez, his style still brutalized Morrell young in his career, and he ain't looked the same since. So it's not just about getting stoppages. You can still Floyd, he didn't get stoppages later in his career because he was fighting people 20 pounds bigger. You look bigger than Teofimo. So you don't really have the excuse. Floyd, I can understand you're not going to stop Cotto. He a legend. You're not going to stop Canelo. He a legend. And they're bigger than you. And you're older than them, right? I get that. You look bigger than Teo, right? And your age ain't really far apart. And you're supposed to be, you know, the next level talent. Floyd didn't stop Canelo, but he made Canelo look bad. Like, if I'm really being honest, correct me if I'm wrong. Floyd versus Canelo, Shakur versus Teo. Let me know in the comment section which fight of those two fights has more replay value, where you can watch it over and over and over again and dissect it and still be entertained. So it's not just about stopping people. I could watch Floyd Canelo. I know my pick. I never went back to watch the Teofimo fight. So, is he really wrong here? You know what I mean? So, congratulations on Shakur, new deal. You got money from these people, but now you're off to a rocky start.